Hey everyone, it's freezing out, it's windy, it's cold, and the snowblower doesn't start. Does it? Because you left it all year for God knows how many years. We're here on Long Island, it doesn't snow that much, but when it does, we just had a bad snowstorm. So, let's take the carburetor apart on this thing. Let's go over it, let's find out what's going on. It's got some weird issues. Got it from Tommy, right? Hey Tom! Anyway, got it from him, and it's got some weird carburetor issues on it. It's leaking a lot. It has a whole bunch of other little issues, little problems, and we need to get into that carburetor and take a good look at it. And so the second part of the series, I think we'll go over the rest machine. We'll make it look pretty again. Got some rust and some other stuff. So let's get to the carburetor first. Let's do it! Do it! Get to work. Come on, let's get to work. Let's pull this thing in the garage and get to work. Let's dig in. It looks like overall it's in pretty good shape. Let's get the knob off first. Generally, if you just pull straight off, it should work. There we go. 1/4 inch. One's silver and one's dark. Why is that? Now, I'm not a big fan of the 5 horsepower models. In my view, the 5 horsepower Tecumseh motors are just not very good. They're not bad. I'm not saying that. They just don't have a lot of power. And so, why? Right? Because where I am on Long Island, the snow gets icy and slushy. It's not powder. It's rarely ever powder. If it's snowing at 2 o'clock in the morning and it's powder, you know, a lot of us will go out there at 2 o'clock in the morning. I know it's annoying to hear, but it's because come morning, you start, you know, getting ready and go out there then, you're going to find that you're not going to be very happy. These snowblowers will not lift that kind of snow. So, looks like Tommy's already removed the kill for the key. Hi Tom, if you're watching. So, a couple things we could do. We could just drop the bowl, alright, if we want, or we could go in a little deeper. I say, it looks pretty dirty, I say we go in deeper. Also, I've noticed that his primer tube is off. Now, why that is, I don't know. Does it fit on? Yeah, it kind of fits on. It's under a lot of tension. It could be a little bit bigger or a little longer. Now, we also got to get the fuel line off. And we want to make a note of the way he has it. So, there's 2 holes on the top here on the arm for the governor. And then there's a hole here underneath. So, it's just that one hole. So, it's in on that one hole here. And over here, it's on the outer hole on this side of the throttle. So, you know, she's throttle wide open right now. So just the first step is to observe what you have. What do you see? Does the carb look dirty? Yes, it does. Does it look like he took the carb off and washed it? Probably not. He might have just, the bowl looks clean. So he might have pulled the bowl off and cleaned the jet out, which is something we could do. But I think we'll go in a little deeper. All right, just to verify what Tommy did. Now, next thing we want to do is let's pull the fuel line off. So I'm just going to move that clip back. And let's get our lube. She likes lube, so do I. And this is just to make things easier and to cause less damage. Now we'll rock it back and forth a little. Like that. Get a little more lube in. Now, if you can't get it off with a pair of pliers, you can use a screwdriver and kind of peek it in there. And what we'll do is, since there's no room for this thing, for it to go anywhere, we're going to get a smaller screwdriver. We kind of want it out of our way. So maybe the both together. Just try to get up underneath it. Because there's nowhere for it to go, so. Alright, now, if it damages it, it means we'll have to replace it, but it seems like it's okay. So, at least now it's off. It's kind of out of our way. There's a nut back there, and what can happen is you can't get to the nut. right? And it can be difficult to get to. So what I'd rather do is take it off from up here. So we're going to see if the screws will allow us to do so. We're going to just want to put a lot of the two-stroke up there, sort of wet the gasket down, make it so that we can shear it off without damaging the gasket. And let's just give it a turn. Yep, I think it's going to go. Let's see. If it doesn't go, yeah, this has never been off. All right, so now we'll have to go to the next method. Well, this is just a simple impact. It's the twist and, okay, that takes it off. Let's see, can we get this one in here? Yeah. Okay, simple. Now we can also see, I want to see if we can get the muffler off, because we can paint that muffler. And we could make that muffler look a little pretty. So while we're here, let's see, we may have to slam it with the tool. Oh, that one's fine. Okay. So we're going to paint this muffler and make it look pretty. And that's part of the dress up. All right, let's take this off. Here, we'll put this one back. And that needs some love. Needs some love juice. Put this on the table. All right, so we'll kill two birds with one stone on that. Gasket came off fine. This rod's a little bent. Alright, now let's give it a little whack. That's it. Well, hopefully we didn't damage the gasket. But it's not an issue, so we can make another one. Alright, oh, gasket's fine, we're good there. Now we should be able to just lift up on the carb. Now, we'll take it off of the carb. Leave that hang there out of our way. And let's go over to the bench. Everything looks good so far. And we're going to go over to the bench. Set up over there. And we'll be back.
A few moments later.
All right, let's wash it off. It's not too bad. It's not really dirty, but I always like to start off with a good rinse. Loosen everything up. It's beauteous. I'll blow it with a little low pressure air. Let's just take a peek inside. Wasn't particularly tight. Not too bad. Alright, there's some debris. What's that? Just a little bit of debris. Oh. Oh my. Yeah, that's gacked in there. Yeah, something does not look right in here. There's a lot of gack in this. Let's get a closer look and see what's going on. Let me put this stuff away. This has not gone over properly. Maybe the gack came from the tank. Because a lot of people will clean the carburetor and they won't rinse out the tank. I'm trying to hold it. Can you see that gack? There's gack in there. Yep, it's gack all right. depending upon the barometric pressure. But there's more air available here at sea level. We're only a few feet above. So now we'll go with the 0292. And that's fine. Okay, we're not fighting it. That's clean. Alright, so that's, I brought it up a little. Now let's find the little hole, because that's a sort of a bleed hole. And we're going to go with an 021 maybe or something. Fine. I'm going to start off. It's probably even smaller than that. There's a very small hole over here. And you could use a pinhead. Actually, this might, yep, that's the 021. 021. Let's go 025. Just going to bring it open a little bit. Make sure there's no oxidation in there. And we'll tweak the jet a little. Okay, that fits in there as well. Now we'll go to that was 0225. Now we'll go to 025. And that feels like it just about fits in. So we'll chuck this up. This way I don't have to come back in the carburetor. I shouldn't have to, and that went in fine. This car was a little harder to deal with. Now we'll just blow it out because of where it's mounted. Alright, so that's done. I'll just blow this out a little. We'll put it to the side and we'll get to the carburetor. Alright, junk removed. Now let's take a look at the Carb. Oh, that's a little sticky. It's a little dirty. Gasket's in good shape. Oh, this is varnish. Other than that, it's not bad. So now we have a jet over here, because remember it's Tecumseh, so we need a little pick or something to get that out. There could be some gack lurking in here. Let's just see if we can pick this out. You could also use a small screwdriver. Almost. Probably a lot of dirt in this area too. Usually they come right out, but this one's on there pretty good. It has yielded. Okay, let's just give that a little blow with some cleaner. This way we don't introduce the junk that's behind it back in. And a little low pressure air off camera. Not too bad. Let's just take our Q-tip and run that in there to see if we can pull off any debris. And then we'll blow through that in a bit. But let's take a look at this. Now, you could throw this in a little acid while we're cleaning the rest of the carburetor. It has a very small hole there. Right in the tip. That's his baby hole. So let's see, this one looks kind of large. This is an 028. The 028 goes through here. And we're just going to run the tip in here. And that's going to be real small. We'll start off with an 018 or something. They tend to be real small on these carburetors. You may not have anything to go in there. I think it's even smaller than this. Let's go a little smaller. Let's chuck it up. This is 016. Yeah, we'll just kind of poke that in there. That should be fine. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, it's clean. And I probably enlarged it just a little bit, but that's okay. I'm still within a margin. Alright, that's cleaned out. Now, if you want, we could just throw this in a little acid. Now, this is the Eastwood Fast Etch, or the body acid that I always talk about. Alright, we're just going to leave that sit in there for a little bit. But you could use like any kind of like brass cleaner or silver cleaner. Alright, so these all look good. Let's clean this out a little. Yeah, there's always goop in here. See? I got the goop out. It just sits there. Look at that. It's nasty. Now it'll go back into the carb again. Just break it up a little. That's all. Now that will work properly. And now let's just give it a hose. Right? I don't see anything else too bad. Yeah, you know what we can do? Let's take this guy. Let's do our emulsion tube. Now you can take it out, but generally just doing this usually does the trick. Sometimes they get stuck in there. And sometimes they pop out, and you might have to take this off to get to it. But if you don't want to take it out, you can clean it. Seems like it wants to go. Yeah, it does want to go. But it could be hard to get out the rest of the way. It doesn't want to. You have to kind of pick it out. And you don't want to damage it. Yeah, I don't want to screw it up. They don't like to come out. So if you take this off, sometimes you can shove the pick in there. But let's just see. Sometimes if you move it a little, you're able to get out anything that might be in its way. I think that's all we need. Because it did run, it just has junk. Right, now I guess if we have a problem, we'll have to take that out, but you take all this off, and I think we're okay. Alright, so now, one last thing, and we'll rinse it again. Let's just run our wire brush over the gasket surface, so that we get a good seal. And that's really all that's generally required. This one's in pretty nice shape. Okay, give it its last blow, its last bath. Let's blow it up. And here, what I like to do is just take my little screwdriver and just go over it. Let me move the clean carburetor out of the way. Just go over it first, just to get the stuff that's really stuck on there. And we'll take a little bit of our Scotch-Brite. Let's say that's clean. Okay. You guys happy with that? I'm happy with that. I just blow it out. I'm very happy with that. Everything is ready to go. So we're going to assemble it with our 2-stroke with the training fluid in it. Let's wipe this off here. Just dunk it and we'll wipe it. This is in good shape. Okay, got some debris off of it. We are ready to go. I'm happy. Can't ask for much more than that. She's all nice and clean. Okay, that's all nice and clean. Now we need to make sure that the emulsion tube is seated. It will seat itself, but okay. We'll make sure it's down. So it's down. I just pushed it down. Let's put a little bit of our 2-stroke. Seat looks good. We need to check it. A little bit of rust on that pin. It looks good there. In well. Got a gasket on. Now, we notice we're just going to push down on a little bit. Now, what I'm noticing is that it's not parallel. See how much that's sticking up? That's gonna starve it for fuel. I'll take this off. That's just a little. So what we want to do is just push it down a little bit to make sure that the seat is good. And we're going to take a little bit of that off because it should be a little bit more parallel. That's up there. Now what we want to do is just going to bend this a little bit, just a little. That should do it. We'll try that. I don't want much. We might want to bend it a little bit more. Yeah, she's still up a little too high. Let's just see. Let's get a tube and see if it does anything. This might be one of those that we have to come back in and effect a deeper repair. All right, so we're going to hold it like this and blow into it. It's leaking like a sieve. All right, so that's no good. So something's not right. Maybe it's the wrong pin, the wrong seat. So that's why she's having a problem. Because she's not sitting right. Now the seat could have been damaged. I don't think I have another one of those. But I do have spare motors. So I think we're at the point now. How's that doing? That's doing good. Where we can look at one of the other carbs in that motor that I was playing with earlier. I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's going to be something that you're going to see right now. On the job I was playing around with, I was looking at another motor for a starter on a larger 8 horsepower Tecumseh. There's no debris there, but it looks like there might be something wrong with that seat. And that's going to be my guess. Since we have another carb available to us, we have 2 or 3. They actually have others. We're going to want to go rescue that. Yeah, she's not sitting right at all. So let me do that. All right, so we have all these parts that were okay. Let's just shove them to the side. Let's go get the next victim and see what we have.
1 hour later.
All right, I dug out. By the way, the noise, that's the, isn't that nice? That's my heater. It squeaks and it makes, I need to fix it. You know why? Because it's broken. It's old, like me. And it's cold out. Okay? Actually, it's nicer today than it was. So I went in there in the shed and I dug this one out. I have 2. Well, actually I had 3, but there's 2 in the shed. This is one of them. The other one's still on the machine, which we need to part out. So rather than go ripping into that, because it's a pain in the neck and it's big, I figured I'd grab this one. This one you can see, she was rode hard and put away wet. Maybe you can see it. See the mud wasp? Give it a minute to focus. Oh yeah. They're in there. Now I don't know if I'm going to use this one or whatever, but I think what we want to do is take a look at what's going on between the 2 carburetors. So let's just take a quick peek. We want to see if this float will fit here. Now, if this carb has an issue with the float or the seat, now I don't have another seat, so let's just take the one that came from the carb that's the mud packer carb. But I'd like to see if I could get this running. Now maybe this will just be the fix, we'll find out. Nope, she's still up too high. So it's just nothing to do, just so you see, I didn't think so, but just so you see. So now we could try to take the seat out. Now, like I said, I don't think I have another one. But the seat may not be in here. So we now have a backup carburetor. Now this seat doesn't look bad. Looks a little bit messed up there. And we have another seat that we can get at. And if we still have problems like this guy, we have a seat, I can see this dirt down there, and I can see it sits down deeper. So maybe this is something's wrong here. Well, let's blow through it. But we have a backup carb just in case. And I'm not going to do any more to that other carburetor, the dirty one, because we don't know what's going on with it yet. Now, a couple things you could do. You could turn around the other way, but I think we're just going to stick it right back in and see if we can get the seat down. Maybe it wasn't down all the way. So, still, I had fun pulling apart that other motor. Now I know what I have to work with, and this carburetor, the extra carburetor, whichever one is the extra. Yeah, I'm having a hard time sticking this in. So at least I have an extra carburetor now. Yeah, I'm definitely having a hard time sticking this in. Because I'm getting tired. It's time to stop. Almost. You know, we'll stop in a little while. Yeah, I'm all thumbs now. Let me sit down on something because I haven't sat down today. Yeah, I'm getting tired. Oh, old and tired. Green stick might work. I just don't want it to go blammo. I think it's coming apart. Yeah, I see pieces coming off of it. So it could be beat. Now, let's take a little bit of our juice. And where's the pin? I don't see it. Did I lose the pin? Or did I put it up over here somewhere? I think I lost the pin. I probably just misplaced it. Let's use the pin from over here. Probably misplaced it. Sure, it's here. Either way, we have another one. It still sits up high, right? It's a little too high, and let's find out if it seals now. It seals, but it still sits up a little high. Now, what we can try doing, check the other float. I'm pretty sure that that seal is down there now. I mean, I pushed hard. And so if this doesn't work, it's sealing now. So if this doesn't work for some reason, let's see, any differences? None that I can see. I just switched them out. So good news is if we run into a problem, we'll go to the other carburetor. I'm not going to continue to clean it because I think if this seals up, it fits about the same. Let's see if it seals up. Yeah. All right, let's run with that. I don't want to leave this in there. Let's run with it. And we'll hold on to this guy for the in case, okay? Because it's stabilized, it's clean. I can kind of just slap it back together for storage purposes. We have a nice gasket. We still have to test it in the other direction. Flat goes to the fulcrum. Let's put some of our two smoke on it. Make sure it fits down nice and even. Right? It's tight, so it doesn't want to go on. We could get the. I gotta stand up. Where is the other stuff that I had? Here it is. So we're gonna put this guy on. Yep, it's going down. That's another nice thing about the two smoke with the tranny fluid in it, is that it helps you to locate everything. Now let's tighten this up. We got one more thing to put on. I figure there's enough energy left in me to put that guy back, which we cleaned and let it soak in a little bit of acid. And we already went through it. So I got just enough energy to, oh, got dirt on the end of that, to put this together, and we'll run a test. And if I can finish that today, let's say the motor runs okay, and she's not leaking fuel anymore, right? That seems nice and tight. Other than that, you know, this thing looks great, right? Now, we had loosened up this one, so let's just make sure we're tight. Yep, tight. Tight. All right, guys, we got a working carb. Feels sweet, smooth, and it's clean as we can make it. And I think we're pretty good. Let's get to the next station. Let's get over to the machine itself and put that on, and then we can give this thing a fire up. We'll see where we're at.
Eventually.
Okay, guys, we got the fuel on, and I just hit the little valve at the bottom of the carburetor just to bring fuel in. I don't see any leakages. I did make a gasket for this, but I didn't fully bolt it down, but it's tight here. If we want, we have to stake that. So we still have some things to do. So throttle's on, choke is on, let's prime it. That one's running really good. Yeah, smooth that idle way. Alright guys, wow.
A few moments later.
She's running really good. You can see, and I haven't even cleaned the plug or anything yet. Did I clean the plug? I don't think I did. I don't remember. We'll check that. We have a few more things to do to the engine to sweeten it up. I'm going to turn off the fuel supply. Actually, no, we'll leave it. Maybe if it leaks tonight, I'll find out. But I don't see any leakages. That was the biggest problem. There was junk in there. This thing runs really nice. This is one of the nicest running 5 horsepower motors I have seen in a long time. I'm almost a little jealous. I wish the other one ran like that, but you could tell the valves are probably seated well. Everything else is good to go. We do have to pull start it. We have to go through the rest of the machine. So if you guys like the content so far, like and subscribe, leave a comment. If you want to stick around, come back. Well, tomorrow's Christmas, so it'll probably be the day after or whatever. All right, we'll be back in a bit, guys. I will see you in a couple of days. Oh, just garage.